And every day, those flights carry freight for Nova Express to every city in the country. Whatever the size, we'll get your shipment within 48. We'll get your shipment delivered within 48 hours, within 24 hours. In most cases, we can even deliver it the same day. We'll even crate it for you. Electronic equipment, medical supplies, convention exhibits. Nova Express delivers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The air freight specialists, Nova Express.
At Prime Care, we care about you. We're committed to providing you the finest walk-in medical care in the area, including the field of nutritional medicine. Obesity is a disease with serious consequences. Now, to help you win the battle against weight, Prime Care offers Medifast, the physician-supervised weight reduction program. Prime Care manages your individual program with complete safety, with an initial evaluation and weekly checkups. We want you to feel better about yourself. Prime Care, together with Medifast, will help you control your weight forever.
From Kansas City, we think you could use a little change of pace. And after 40,000 miles in TWA's frequent flyer program, that's just what you get. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are. Because sometimes the shortest distance between 2 points is not a line, TWA created the Advanced Boarding Pass. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
If your kitchen has lost some of its original charm, Sears Replacement Cabinet Doors and Finishing can help you add new beauty to your kitchen and value to your home. Call this toll-free number and see how easy it is to have Sears install new cabinet doors and finishing on your old wood or metal cabinets.
I couldn't believe how outdated our kitchen had become. So we called Sears, and a friendly, knowledgeable representative came out and gave us a free, no-obligation estimate.
Sears really took the hassle out of improving our kitchen.
And if you call now, you can trade in your old cabinet doors for new and save up to $250 during this special TV offer.
When you deal with Sears, you're dealing with knowledgeable professionals and a company you've trusted for over 100 years. Most jobs are completed in 2 or 3 days with a minimum of inconvenience.
Remember, when you call this toll-free number, there is no obligation, and you could save up to $250, and you can charge it with Sears special credit plans. Sears, your money's worth, and a whole lot more.
Dino Ciccarelli scoring his first playoff goal as time expired in period number 2. And the Washington Capitals with a 1-0 lead in the series, leading this game by a score of 1-0. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Rimmer. An exciting hockey game here, a playoff kind of game. The Washington Capitals with some outstanding goaltending by Pete Peters leading the visiting Flyers by that 1-0 score. Let's get you caught up on all those out-of-town scores, beginning with the other Patrick Division semifinal. Pittsburgh leading the New York Rangers in the second period by 3. It is Stevens, Brown, Callender, Bork, and Cunneyworth that have all scored for the Penguins. Leach and Lafleur, both on the power play, have scored tonight for the New York Rangers. They trail by 3. The Canadiens clinging to a 1-goal lead over Hartford in the second. Buffalo leading Boston by 2. Turgeon has scored twice for the Buffalo Sabres. It's Chicago leading Detroit now by 2 goals in the second. Minnesota ahead of St. Louis. Hull has scored the goal for the Blues. Later on tonight, Vancouver at Calgary. The Canucks with a 1-0 lead in that series. Edmonton leading the Kings 1-0. They also get a later start in Los Angeles. If a 5th game is necessary, we're back here next Tuesday night. Don't forget the Capitals have some tickets available, and if you can't join us in person, we'll have it for you here on Home Team Sports. Stay tuned for more of our second intermission. Is just ahead. The Capitals leading the visiting Flyers by 1.
Everything in the store looks as if it's fresh picked out of the garden. I have a garden myself.
It's wet. It's just so natural. I love it.
If you haven't seen Safeway's produce department, you don't know how good produce can be.
I would give Safeway's produce department a 10. Yeah, I'd give it a 10.
Go take a look. Come see the difference at Safeway.
All right, families. What's the first thing we do when we get back from vacation? Unpack our bags?
No.
Read the mail?
Forget it.
Of course not. The first thing we do is drop off our vacation film where we see the Kodak Color Watch seal. The Color Watch seal means the Kodak system checks the developing for great color. The Kodak Color Watch system, you're going to thank me for it.
Thank you.
I saw that coming.
Stop by any People's Drugstore for the quality film developing your prints deserve.
All right, families, What's the first thing we do when we get back from vacation? Unpack our bags?
No!
Read the mail?
Forget it!
Of course not. The first thing we do is drop off our vacation film where we see the Kodak Color Watch seal. The Color Watch seal means the Kodak system checks the developing for great color. The Kodak Color Watch system, you're going to thank me for it.
Thank you!
I saw that coming.
Stop by any People's Drugstore for the quality film developing your prints deserve.
We are nearing completion of my greatest work, the President's Home. Today, I discovered they will call it White House. I am utterly shocked at the name's lack of imagination.
When something's really special, you don't need a special name. So, at Hardee's, we call our burger the Big Deluxe. Thicker, juicier, more burger to win you over.
I trust they will find a more suitable name for his oval-shaped office.
The Big Deluxe. More burger, less name.
We're here at Track Auto to find out why people come here for all their automotive needs. Sir, what brings you here to Track?
Is this live? Well, how about selection? I mean, just look around you. And what about those low Track Auto prices? I mean, you know there's a 7-year, 70,000-mile auto parts warranty, huh? And how about the friendly and helpful employees? I mean, we've got caring, convenience, and price. Oh, my.
If you need it, Track's got it.
If Track doesn't sell it, you don't need it!
They created a monster.
Jeff Rimmer back with you here on Home Team Sports. The Caps leading the Flyers 1-0 in the series. 1-0 on the scoreboard on a goal by Dino Ciccarelli. But the star last night and again tonight, Pete Peters in goal for the Washington Capitals. And should they hold on to take a 2-0 series lead, Pete Peters, the story of games 1 and 2. Stay tuned now for the Kodak Flashback here on Home Team Sports.
Kodak and People's Drugstores present Flashback. It's April 7th, 1983, and the Capitals are playing the Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum in the second game of the Patrick Division semifinals. Bob Gould scores the game winner for the Caps when he stick handles around Islander defenseman Tomas Jonsson and beats goalie Billy Smith. Dennis Marouk adds an insurance goal to the Caps' 4-2 win, handing the eventual Stanley Cup winners their only home ice loss of the postseason.
There's a special feeling at Giant Food in everything we do. It's a feeling that you get from people who care. We put quality and value in everything we do. But most of all, we care about you. At Giant Food, we care about you.
Ode to Track Auto, a poem by Dwayne F. Snyder.
S is for selection, everything from A to Z. C is for convenience, with many stores to serve your auto needs. E is for Track's fine employees, helpful with advice. L is for Track's long-term warranty. Gee, that's nice. P is for those low Track Auto prices. Put them all together, they spell scalp.
If you need it, Track's got it.
Scalp. It's a word.
Track's Auto.
You are what you eat. What's true for man is true for machines. Starting the day right can make a difference. For power and performance, drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. Hot food for cars.
It's the Capitals 1 and the Philadelphia Flyers 0. Lots of controversy at the close of play in the second period. Mike Forens and Al Koken welcoming you back once again here on Home Team Sports. Boy, I'll tell you, everybody in the building buzzing right now, wanting to know, is it a legal goal? Well, we'll take a look first of all at our Home Team Sports shot chart brought to you by TWA. Here's how the Washington Capitals had their shots during the first period, 10 of them. And of course, one of them went in, and it's that number 22 that's in the square right to the side of the net. Now, two concerns for Philadelphia. First of all, was it scored within the regular frame of time? Second of all, does it go in off Ciccarelli's skate? Did he direct it into the net? Let's watch the clock first of all. All right, that should answer it. I think it's changing right now, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's starting to go out, so you can understand why the goal judge, I mean, he's only got a split second to press his thumb down on the light, and you can see why it came up green instead of the red light.
But the key is, was this intentionally directed in? No question it goes off the skate of Dino Ciccarelli, but is he applying the brakes and it's just incidentally going in, or is he starting to lead with his leg and then finally puts the brakes on after? See, to me, it looks like he's also going with that skate, and then once it goes off, has got the brakes applied. He's turning that skate in forward to get the puck first, and then is using it in a position to put the brakes on. You don't see snow coming up before the puck hits his skate. It's after the puck hits his skate, and after he turns his skate into the puck. That's where I think the controversy's got to come in.
Well, also some controversy. If you're one of the Flyers and you get sent to the dressing room, don't you think that there's a little bit of concern about whether the period had ended or not? If the goal is scored at 19:59, which is the only legal way that it could happen, then we've got to go back out and face off for that final second, irregardless of whether the goal counts or not. The play would stop right at 19:59, but it didn't. The goal went in the net. The green light came on, as you mentioned, but that's because it's a physical impossibility for the goal judge back there to react in time to turn on that light. But our home team sports replay shows that it was across the line before time ran out. Goal, 19:59. Should have had a face-off at center, though.
The human element again, you know, even if you had benefit of the replay, there you've got to make the decision. Is he directing his skate onto the stick intentionally, or is he setting his skate up to put on the brakes? And it goes in incidentally.
Let's take a look at it again. We're going to take another look here and show you once more. And this is from right on the ice. Now, does Dino Ciccarelli intentionally direct the puck toward the net with his skate? I say he's in the process of stopping, and if I'm the referee, I'm going to give him the goal.
Well, the one question I had, too, is Rob Schick. Is he, I thought initially when he came over to the penalty timekeeper and the official scorer, that he was motioning that Ciccarelli got it with his stick. That he wasn't concerned about, one, the time, or two, his skate.
Okay.
He's saying that Ciccarelli did get it with the stick, as I kept seeing Rob Schick motion like he was motioning like I was a shooter and he had the stick. There's the real question. Now, again, I mean, you really could see it both ways. It's a 50-50 call to me. You can make a perfect case for he's got the skate directed intentionally to the puck. You can make the case, as you did, that he's turning on the brakes, and hey, it's just incidental, bouncing, it's a break, it's the game of hockey, and the Capitals get a clean goal. They'll be talking about this one for time to come. I honestly can't say who's right on that, because you can make an equal case for both.
Philadelphia had no goals, obviously, in the period. We'll be back with play-by-play of period 3 right after this.
Toyota Camry. The bottom line for '89 is quality. Camry rates the most trouble-free new car in its class. Camry carries a much higher resale value than Honda Accord. The 16-valve Camry not only delivers more horsepower than Accord, but delivers a lower routine maintenance cost. And Camry is America's lowest price C6 import. You'll like the savings and you'll love the deal. And that's the bottom line.
When a shark gets hungry, he looks for something he can sink his teeth into. Something meaty, something filling, something red. And when he finds it, he tears into it.
Chunky's new Easy Open can lets you tear into those delicious clams and tender potatoes in chunky New England clam chowder fast. So get plenty, because you never know. Campbell's Chunky. It takes care of the meanest appetites. You eat. What's true for man is true for machines. The right diet can make a difference. For power and performance, drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. Health food for cars.
Home team sports coverage of Washington Capitals hockey is brought to you by Capital Cadillac Company, home of the Capital Commitment, featuring free lifetime lubrication, oil, and filter change with the purchase of your new Cadillac. By Chunky Soup, it takes care of the meanest appetites. And by Mobil Super Unleaded Plus gasoline. Drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded. Caps have a 1-0 lead thanks to the controversial goal. Before we start play-by-play of period 3, let's check in once more with Jeff Rimmer.
And Mike, you were right on the money as far as the reaction for the Philadelphia Flyers. They were not a happy group as they left the ice and just crossed in front of our Home Team Sports studios. It'll be interesting to see how they react now here in period number 3. Many of the players vocal as they left the ice, and obviously the most vocal of them all, goaltender Ron Hextall. Third period action, you'll see it live and exclusively. A one-goal hockey game, and with a play-by-play, Mike Fornes and Al Koken.
Thank you, Jeff. Al, producer Bill Brown telling us about a basketball game apparently this year where they had a controversy where they had to replay the game on tape with the sound to decide whether there wasn't in fact a fraction of a second after the 0-0 hits the clock. Now, I think in this building, just watching as we counted down at the end of the intermission, that horn sounds the moment that the 0 is flashed. But it doesn't matter because it was scored with 1 second left, right?
Exactly.
And they're giving the time of the goal as 19:59. Now we've got an injured Flyer.
Jeff Chickering, who jumped in front of a Michael Pavanka slap shot.
Courtnall and Stevens get the assists, and it's a power play goal for Washington at 19:59 of the second period.
Now, everything stands, obviously, Mike. I mean, there's not going to take this goal away. What effect will it have on the game in terms of the way the Flyers come out and play? Do they now just get additionally fired up, saying, hey, it's one thing that we got to fight the Capitals, but we're also battling the referees, and they rally around themselves as each other, group together, come out as a team? Here's Jeff Chickering going down to block that Pavanka slap shot. Catching it up there on the knee or the thigh. Chickering up, moving around pretty well at this point. Or is it a situation now where they're just so frustrated, they start running at everybody, start trying to do everything themselves, get out of a team type of play in an effort to get it all done at one fell swoop? And to the Capitals now, knowing that they certainly have got a break, it easily could have gone against them, now do they just keep pressing the attack? Go for it as opposed to say, hey, we got a big break and relax. And how will Rob Schick handle this? Does he feel, hey, I gave a certain benefit of the doubt. I saw it in a certain way, but I agree it was a real benefit of the doubt on the part of the Washington Capitals. Now, does he maybe subconsciously compensate? Another penalty call or controversial close play? Does he give it towards the edge of the Philadelphia Flyers subconsciously?
Here's Berube at center. Back to Wells. Let ahead now to Ron Sutter. A 2-on-1 with Tocchet. He fires. Peters makes the pad save. And Mike Ridley starts back for Washington. Now to Kelly Miller, left wing side. Michael Pavanka across the blue line. Cutting in. Tries to get around Murphy, and it's played up the boards for Tocchet. Tocchet inside the Capitals zone offside. Of course, all Washington has to do, with a point you made, is to win the game 2-0. And that takes Schick off the hook. It erases all questions about whether or not that goal decided the game.
But it's already given the Capitals an emotional lift to take a lead into the locker room after that hard-fought game for the first 2 periods. You get a break. They got a break last night on the Lou Franciscitti goal. Here they get another break. And, boy, these omens certainly working the way of the Capitals. And, you know, you're in a situation, you win the first 2 here in this building, the Capitals are firmly entrenched in the driver's seat. Philadelphia is allowed to come away with a split here, and it just changed the complexion of this series around.
1-0 to score. We've just begun the third period. Christian to Cicerelli from the faceoff. Now back to the defense. Hatcher ahead. Cicerelli on the right wing. Winds up a slap shot. Stick save made by Hextall. Eklund starts back now for the Flyers. Keith Acton works to the blue line. Dave Christian in the corner. Brings it over to Scott Stevens. Led ahead to Cicerelli at center ice. Cicerelli across the blue line. Behind the back pass for Christian, but it misses him. Goes to the corner, and now Tim Kerr starts back for Philadelphia. Kerr to center, gets across the blue line. On his backhand, lofts it on net, and Peters makes the save. Now Stevens behind the net. Cicerelli, another one-on-one. Cuts in on Carter. A
Pass blocked by Chikrin. Hextall way out of the goal, and here's Dale Hunter. Out to the point. Rouse fires. It's blocked by Partner. Nice play. Flyers cleared all the way down. Johansson will get there first, but no icing. Mellenby right in front of the net. Bob Rouse starts back to Calle Johansson. To Courtnall. At the blue line, Derek Smith works it to center ice, and Rouse flipped it in. Loved by Hextall to the corner. Chikrin moves it outside the line, and Rouse has to chase back into his own zone. Bob Rouse cleared right in front of the net, and here comes Hunter to start back. Hunter, a 3-on-2 break for Washington to Bobby Gould. Gould over to Courtnall, a shot, and a goal! Nice passing all the way around to set up Jeff Courtnall, who had the best angle. He beat Ron Hextall to put the Capitals in the lead, 2-0. No controversy here. Quick breakout play, 3-on-2. Excellent pass work, and they find the open man, and you see the perfect shot coming right through there using Murphy as a bit of a screen, and Jeff Courtnall makes no mistake.
Assist number 23,
Still Ron Hextall thinking the Capitals have been trying to shoot between his legs so far in these first two games. This time Courtnall goes outside on the stick side, and picks up a huge goal to give the Caps the 2-0 lead and take a little sting out of that controversial goal. Time of the goal, 2:40. Lou Francischetti plays it over to Doug Wickenheiser. Gould and Hunter assisting on Courtnall's second of the playoffs. Here's Langway outside the line to center ice, and Wells picks it up there. He dumps it into the Washington zone. Langway goes to the corner. The puck shot out of play. There's a break in the action with a score. The Capitals 2 and the Flyers nothing.
Hi, I'm Joe Bova with Sears. Sears offers a full line of quality fences, including chain link, split rail, and stockade. Whether it's security, beauty, or privacy, Sears has the fence for you. We've been in business 100 years with credibility, reputation, and trust. Plus, Sears has a credit plan to meet your needs. Give us a call for a free estimate.
.47 left to play in the third period. It's a 2-0 lead now for the Washington Capitals. Courtnall just picked up the goal for the Capitals, the second of the series for Jeff. Gould and Hunter at 2:40 picked up the assist. Bullard, a wrist shot. Peters, the pad save. Cleared behind the net for Rod Langway. Here's Langway, the Washington captain, up to center ice. Across the line for Kelly Miller. He's checked by Samuelson. And the puck swept outside the line, and Tim Kerr has it at center. Left wing side for Mike Bullard. Bullard grabs Sheehy as he goes by. And Pete Peters tripped up in the net. We've got a penalty call coming. A delayed call against Philadelphia. Across the line comes Wrigley. And now the Flyers touch the puck and the whistle blows, and there's going to be a tripping penalty call coming to Al Secor to the Flyers. WMAX 106.5 FM will get you going with McCarthy in the morning. Tabloid Trash Roulette. Birthday wake-ups for pilot Duke Brooks. In the mixed traffic copter, McCarthy in the morning on WMIX. Mix 106.5. Baltimore's best mix of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Secord for tripping at 3:52. Now this is the same situation the Flyers found themselves in last night. Here they're though trailing, but a situation where you've got penalties that are just needless. No need to take Pete Peters out here. It doesn't do your team any good. You got to kill off the penalty now as opposed to getting your attack going. You won't see Tim Curry, you won't see Tocchet out there because of this. These are the type of penalties the Flyers are getting hurt by, even though the Capitals aren't really killing them with a quantity of power play goals.
Johansson throws it behind the net, up the boards to the point. Here's Scott Stevens on the Washington power play. Over to Dale Hunter. Hunter along the boards for Courtnall and back in the corner. Checked by Samuelson. Now to Dino Ciccarelli into the left point for Scott Stevens. To Johansson. One times it on net. Hextall blocks it up into the air, and then it's cleared out of the zone. Johansson back to Scott Stevens. To Dino Ciccarelli, again to Stevens. Stevens to center. Across the line. Flips it back into the corner. Hextall trying to do the clearing himself. Gets it all the way to center. And as Poulin waits for it there, Ciccarelli takes it. Now Poulin gets it back. Fires, but Johansson blocks the shot. Here's Propp to the corner. Taken away by Ciccarelli. Out to center ice for Courtnall. He's across the line with Hunter. Courtnall into the left wing corner. 49 seconds left on the power play, and Hatcher sneaks in but doesn't get any of the puck with his shot. Eklund comes back. At the Washington line, he fires, and Peters makes a stick save. Now Hatcher in the corner. Starts to center ice. Drives it back inside the Philadelphia zone. Hextall trying to clear and almost got popped there. It bounced off somebody in front. And he had to get another try to do it. Peters behind the net now for Dave Christian. Christian works to center ice. Left side. Kelly Miller dumps it into the corner. Time running out in the power play. Hextall sends it all the way down the ice. That ends the call to Secord. He's back out of the box, and the Flyers are at full strength. Rod Langway. Over to Kevin Hatcher. To Langway. To Hatcher. Pass behind Christian, and Derek Smith fires it in. Peters blocks that away. Langway throws a hit on Secord. Francis Getty goes running at Samuelson. At the line, Tocchet takes it, walks in, feeds center, a backhand shot, and it's saved by Peters. A good scoring opportunity for Philadelphia, but Pete stopped them cold.
The Capitals get a little careless here, flipping it around up at the blue line. Quick turnover for the Flyers, and that backhand attempt by Sutter. The second backhander tonight is robbed by Pete Peters. Nice play by Tocchet. He's the one who starts up, but there is Pete Peters standing the ground, squeezing the pads when needed, and keeping it a 2-0 Capital lead with 13:41 left to play.
Pete lifetime against Philadelphia in the playoffs, 5 wins and 2 losses with a 3.03 goals against average.
Talk about some problems Ron Hextall has. He's great at sometimes, but watch this. He tries to clear it and clears it literally off his own defenseman who was crossing in front. That puck almost bounced back up in front of that goal. It can look great when he gets it cleared out and can do it himself. It's a dazzling play, but there are times when it can really come back to haunt Ron Hextall. And I think so far in this series, it's been a 50-50 proposition. It hasn't been the totally dominating play that the Flyers showed in the regular season. Hextall's had a little trouble.
Pete Peters clearing it. Back to the point. Kept in, and now Langway back to jam up Ron Sutter. Wickenheiser over to Francis Getty. He's pulled over on a good strong check thrown by Chychrun. Hextall sends it up the boards and grabbed by Bullard. Took by Wickenheiser. The puck cleared back inside the Philadelphia zone. 2-0 Capitals. 13 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the third period. Caps won game 1 last night, 3-2. Here's Action. Trying to center. Puck cleared to the corner. Jay Wells fires in front. They score! The Flyers come back and get on the scoreboard on a goal by Keith Acton, who pokes it in on Peters' glove side. 2-1 the score.
Boy, this shows me a lot, the way the Flyers kept coming. They get a bounce. They get a little break in front. Looks like Stephen Leach had gotten a stick up in the jaw, and he was a bit stunned. And there you see the break. Keith Acton finishing it off. Comes walking its way through, and you see how Leach has got his head dropped down. Now, he's a little bit stunned. He gets a piece of that puck. Peters gets a piece of it. He can't stop it from coming over there. And suddenly flying in is Keith Acton to ram it home, make it a 2-1 hockey game.
Acton scoring his first of the playoffs at 7:08 of the third period. The Washington lead is cut to 1.
Keith Acton. The assists go to number 10, Mike Bullard, and number 17, Wells.
Bullard and Wells pick up the assist.
Philadelphia goal, number 25.
Gordon Murphy back at his own line.
The assists go to Mike Bullard.
Up to center, and he throws it on into the Washington zone. Kevin Hatcher behind the net. To the point, Wells keeps it in. Into the corner goes Scott Stevens. He loops it up the boards and all the way back into the Philadelphia zone. Shots are even at this point, only 19 aside. Wells into the corner. Tim Kerr, chased by Cicerelli. Now Wells bumps with Cicerelli. The puck still loose in the corner. Finally, Gordon Murphy throws it rink wide for Eklund. Up to Keith Acton. Tim Kerr held off at the blue line by Scott Stevens. To Christian, right side for Cicerelli. And on into the Flyers zone. Both teams are changing up the line. Here's Bob Rouse. Samuelson at center. Lugs it back into the Washington zone. Rouse behind the net. Steers it to the corner, but Kropp plays it away. Back of the goal. Here's Johansson to chase it. Towards the pass over to Michael Pivonka. Flip to the blue line. Kropp keeps it in. Sutter right in front. Pocket had a chance, but swept it right to the stick of Peters, and he clears it away. Samuelson back into his own zone. Bob Rouse, right side for Dale Hunter. Out to Rouse. Throws it into the corner. Caps start another line chance. Bob Gould in the throw ahead. Hunter joins him. And here comes Kropp. At the line for Poulin. Langway dumps into the ice. Now pocket a shot. That hit Sheehy right in front of the net. Langway grabs it to take over and hits Bobby Gould with a pass at the Washington blue line. Up to center ice, a 3-on-3. Gould tries to get by Chychrun, who holds him off. Now Kartner has it for Philadelphia. 2-1, Washington has the lead. 10:15 to play here in the third period. Shot on net, Peters to save, and Peters elects to hold on.
And now Jeff Courtnall comes back in the ice for some minor equipment repair. Just missed a single shift. His line was just out there with Gould, Francischetti taking his place, and Hunter. Let's go to Jeff Rimmer. Thanks, Al. Let's get everybody caught up to board on our home team sports scoreboard. The Pittsburgh Penguins, with this game well in hand, looking to go up 2-0. They lead the Rangers in the second period. Montreal ahead of Hartford. They're in the third period of the Forum. It is Buffalo and Boston now tied 3-3. Chicago ahead of Detroit by 1 in the second. Minnesota leading the St. Louis Blues, just underway. Vancouver and Calgary, and also getting underway Edmonton and Los Angeles. If the Game 5 necessary, we'll have it for you next Tuesday night right here on Home Team Sports. Let's go back upstairs to Mike and Al.
Well, the Blues losing last night. They were the only team that had to go to overtime to pick up a win.
How about Detroit? Big win for Chicago.
Stadium be rocking this weekend if the Blackhawks can hang on for a victory over the Red Wings. Here's a shot on net, and Peters makes the save. Of course, the stadium will be rocking anyway, won't it?
Never quiet.
Bullard throws it back into the Washington zone. Peters plays it to the corner. Here is Michael Pivonka to start out. Long lead pass for Miller. Would have been offside, but Poulin breaks it up. Throws it back into the Washington zone. Hatcher run hard. And Hatcher responds with a high stick. There's going to be a call. Bullard is down. Hatcher plays the puck. The whistle should blow here. The Capitals have touched it. Now Kartner has it out to center ice. This penalty has to be against Washington.
And Bullard ball is out of the net. And Bullard heads right to the bench. If he is injured, this could be a 5-minute major.
Here's Eklund into the Washington zone. Capitals trying to touch it. Finally, Kelly Miller gets there and gets the job done. And there's going to be a penalty call on Kevin Hatcher, who retaliated. A very hard hit thrown by Mike Bullard on Hatcher. Had the hands and the elbows up on Hatch. And Hatcher came down with a stick across Bullard's head.
And Rob Schick is heading to the Philadelphia bench to check on how much of an injury has been suffered by Bullard. And this will determine if it's a 2-minute minor or a 5-minute major, which will also feature Hatcher's ejection.
Schick's going to go right on the bench now to have a look, and this is what he's got to do. Dave Settlemyre has the ice pack there, and if there's any sort of superficial wound to the head of Bullard, I'm sure Sudsy Settlemyre will pull some of the hair away to make sure that the referee can see it. That'll help sell the call that it's an injury. Just going to be a 2-minute minor. Bullard getting some attention over there on the bench, and hopefully he's all right.
Well, playoff tickets are available for games C and D. They're on sale now. Give Phone Charge a call. We've got about 10 more minutes to do that. Area code 301-432-0200. That'll be game C and D, which will either be the, what do we got here coming up, the 5th and 7th games of this series, or the 5th game of this series, or the first 2 games of the next series if the Capitals go on for any kind of sweep.
A lot of combinations.
Well, here's the hard hit. But again, this is very similar to what happened last night. You know, there were a couple of strong, solid hits just like that thrown by the Capitals that the Flyers responded with some high sticks and with some unnecessary roughness calls. Unsportsmanlike conduct. You're in a situation now where the Capitals, protecting the lead, can't get into this trap. You got to take the hits, and you can't retaliate. You give the top-ranked regular season power play a crack here.
Linesman Dan Shakti telling the players to stay out of that circle. Here's the drop. Philadelphia's Murphy to Howe. Sticked aside by Peters. Into the corner. Langway back of the goal. Sheehy over after. He bumps Prop. Langway has the puck. Plays it over to Sheehy. Tipped outside the line. Christian racing after Murphy. The puck goes to the corner. And Murphy does a good job of bottling up Dave Christian. Eklund to Prop. Drop pass for Kerr. Here comes a shot and a goal on the power play. The Flyers tie the game on Gord Murphy's slap shot. 2-2 the score.
Well, the Capitals had 2 people in deep. Forechecking, the Flyers were able to break out. That 3-on-2 quickly became a 4-on-3 with Murphy trailing the play. Now the Capitals finally get back, but they're not in any kind of great setup position. And you see Christian is the last guy to get back in the zone. He was the guy who was down there trying to get away from Murphy to get a shorthanded chance for the Capitals. But Murphy's the first guy to get back in there of that duo. And look the way he just strides in and just takes a quick little snapshot that beats Pete Peters. Power play hockey tying the game up. And that retaliation high stick from Kevin Hatcher cost the Capitals dearly.
Time of the goal, 11:25 of the third period. They're going to give credit to the goal to Prop from Murphy and Kerr. So Prop got a piece of it at the side of the net and send that past Pete Peters. That's Prop's second of the playoffs. He scored last night.
And Tim Kerr on the power play at 11:25.
So he deflects Murphy's shot. Ryan Prop and Jeff Courtnall, the 2 players in this series who have 2 goals. Christian brings it back to Hatcher. Hatcher released from the penalty box, of course, with the scoring of the power play goal. John Bruce. Cross-checked by Sutter. Back of the net. Here's Cicerelli trying to wrap it around. Off the skates of Christian. Turned around by Bruce. A wrist shot. Up high. Into the corner. Cicerelli abused by Chychrun in the corner, and now the puck played off the boards to the point. Hatcher slows down Sutter, and the puck comes back to the red line. Dave Christian starts it there. The play ahead to Cicerelli. Taken off the boards by Propp. Out to center ice for Ron Sutter. Poke checked at the line. Scott Stevens gets a stick on it. Now here's Propp winding up. Fires. Deflected by Tocchet, but off the side of the goal. At the right point, Kjell Samuelsson fires, and Peters makes a pad save. Out comes Christian with Cicerelli. Cicerelli firing just wide of the net. Now Pavanka throws it behind the goal. Samuelsson back to jam up with Cicerelli. Ron Sutter works loose on the right wing. Brings it out to Tocchet at the center line. Over to Howe inside the Washington zone. Here's Mike Ridley for the Capitals. To the blue line of Philadelphia. Before Cicerelli can reach it, it's grabbed by Mark Howe. Howe's pass out to center. Ridley to Miller and taken away by Acton. Mark Howe into his own zone, on with Kjell Samuelsson. Back to Eklund. Eklund into the Washington zone. On his backhand. Knocked down. Johansson takes it away. Back comes Calle Johansson. Throws it into the corner. Hextall works it up the board. Lou Franciscetti right in front. Just missed Johansson. He had snuck in from the point. Now back come the Flyers. Pelle Eklund ahead for Tim Kerr. Pope checks at the line. Sheehy and Kerr swing sticks. The puck comes back into the corner. Gordon Murphy strides to the side of the net. Johansson plays it away. Now over to Mike Ridley. He leads it out to Calle Johansson. Tosses it into the corner. Franciscetti back after it. He and Carpenter collide. Now Gordon Murphy. Run hard by Franciscetti. And the puck flipped back to center ice. Bobby Gould turns it around back into the Philadelphia zone. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third period of the game. The Capitals 2 and the Flyers 2. Mike Forens with Al Koken and Jeff Rimmer here on Home Team Sports. Partner back at center ice. Dumped into the corner by Chychrun. Peters leaves it behind the net for Langway. Up the middle, the pass to Dale Hunter. Hunter to center ice. Directs it into the Flyer zone. Chychrun behind the goal. Hit by Bob Gould. Hunter tries to dig it free. It goes over to the corner. Now Gould can't get the stick away from Chychrun, who's holding it. Tapped back off, and Chychrun won't play it. Now he flips it out to center ice. Kevin Hatcher in his own end as both teams change on the fly. Drop back to Scott Stevens. To Kevin Hatcher. Drives it in from center. Now Samuelsson. Back to the point. Hatcher's shot is wide. Hextall sends it off the glass to the blue line, but Hatcher has to take it in neutral ice. Samuelsson back to the corner. Out of the zone again to center. Stevens dumps it right back in. So seldom have goals been scored in this game. Sudden death overtime, very much a certainty. At least a very good possibility. 3:50 to go in the third period. Acton bumps Steve Leach. Eklund. Back into the Washington end. Peters sends it up the board. Acton ties up there. Now back to Scott Stevens. Over to Dave Christian. Here's Christian ahead to center ice. Hits Cicerelli with a pass. Dino Cicerelli coming in. A shot and a save by Hextall. The rebound cleared out of there, and the Flyers come back. Eklund on the right wing side to Kerr. Back to Eklund. Just missed Acton with the pass.
And here comes Sheehy to Cicerelli. Out to Langway. To Dino Cicerelli at the blue line. Over now to Christian. In front to Langway. He shoots, but it's wide of the net. And the Flyers clear it all the way back to the Washington line. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third period. 2-2 score. Hextall sends it all the way down. This will be on goal, and Peters has to stop it, so no icing. Back to center, and Poulin throws it into the Washington end. Bob Rouse off the boards. Kelly Miller tied up on the play. Now it's chased back into Philadelphia ice, and Samuelson over to Cartman. Here's Poulin up to center. 2-on-1 with Bullard. A deep, and a shot is blocked by Calle Johansson. Now they rule the puck was knocked down by a high stick, so play is called with 2:13 to go in the third period of this game. There's a break in the action with the score. The Capitals 2 and the Flyers 2.
All-Stars 12 dealerships discount every vehicle every day. That's every Chevrolet, every Buick, every Geo, every Oldsmobile, every Dodge, every Chrysler, every Plymouth, every Pontiac, every Jeep, every Eagle, every vehicle every day. And you need just $500 down, cash or trade, with payments as low as $108 a month on a brand new '89. All-Star, where just about everybody's credit is good, every vehicle discounted every day.
Things have opened up, some end-to-end action. Here comes the 2-on-1, and watch Calle Johansson go out as he realizes Poulin's going to take the shot and blocks it. Here's at the other end, Dino Cicerelli coming in. A little bit off balance. Ron Hextall comes up with the stop, and Dave Christian cruising in for that rebound. Has it cleared away from him by Hextall. Kevin Hatcher sends it back to center ice. Bob Gould across the line. It'll be Franceschetti and Samuelson to the corner. Franceschetti throws to the side of the net. Hextall blocks it to the backboards, and now Kjell Samuelson circles the goal and starts out. To Sutter, taken away by Bob Gould. Here's Gould, flipping it back inside the Philadelphia zone. Hextall drops, loses his stick, penalty call coming. This is against Washington. Hextall makes his way to the bench in favor of a sixth attacker. Prop drops the pass. Walking in as Prop takes it behind the goal, centers it. The cap touches. And it's going to be a slashing call, and now Sutter has something to say to Stevens. And those two talk it over in the corner. Well, this is going to set the table for the Flyers here, Al, because with 1:29 to go, they'll finish regulation time on the power play. And a power play goal could probably put this game away. Well, again, we talk about unnecessary penalties. Dale Hunter coming in. But look at him get the stick up. Hextall reacts like he's been dropped by Mike Tyson, but it doesn't make any difference. There's no need for Dale Hunter to get the stick up in this situation. He's trying to stop the clearing pass, but when you get the stick up that high, you're just asking for a bit of trouble. At this point in the hockey game, you better make absolutely certain you don't give the referee any opportunity. And when the stick comes in that high, sure may be a bit of an overreaction. It may not have been as legitimate a penalty as we've seen some tonight. But in this situation, it gets called. And the Capitals under the gun with 1:29 left in regulation time. It's been an entertaining game, and this one's going to go right to the wire and possibly beyond. In the regulation sense, here's Kerr to the corner, and Christian is able to pick it up and clear it all the way down the ice. Offside the call at the Washington blue line. wins the faceoff. Gord Murphy works for the Washington zone, throws it into the corner. A minute to play in regulation time. Here's Kelly Miller. Tim Kerr walks in, shoots, and scores! Amidst all that confusion in front of the net, Tim Kerr banks it off a pair of skates into the goal, and the Flyers go in front 3-2. Time of the goal, 19 minutes and 9 seconds of the third period. And the Flyers are in very good shape right now.
Tim Kerr's got plenty of traffic in front. Brian Propp is the man who gets in there. Sheehy kind of takes him out, but it provides a room, and look at Kerr bank it in. Propp crashing the front of that net gives Tim Kerr all that room. Rod Langley arguing that it's interference, but you can see it's Neil Sheehy who's got Propp wrapped up and helps him along in that cause. Again, an unnecessary penalty from the Washington Capitals. 2 power play goals for the Philadelphia Flyers. And look at the way this thing ends because of a Capital team that uncharacteristically couldn't keep the cool.
The assist to number 12, Tim Kerr. Assist number 9, Kelly Eklund.
Well, they give the goal to Propp again because it deflected off him. Kerr and Eklund get the assist. So that means Propp now has 3 on the season and 2 in this game, both on the power play here in the third period, and both on deflections. Time of the goal, 19 minutes, 9 seconds. And that's the call for the timeout here. I didn't hear the announcement. I'm presuming this is Washington's timeout. How did Philadelphia take it? They're pointing to the Flyer bench, but...
Well, still 51 seconds left to go. I would think Brian Murray would want to talk some strategy over how quick they've got to, as soon as they get control, get Pete Peters out of there as quick as possible. To try and go for this equalizer.
The draw comes back to Calle Johansson. Rink wide for Scott Stevens. Peters leaves the net. Stevens throws it back into the Flyer zone, and the puck goes out of play. So whether Peters will come back to the net or not will depend on where they hold the faceoff, and it looks like Gerard Gauthier has positioned himself just inside the blue line. They may just pull Peters right onto the bench.
Probably play a defenseman back there along the red line as a bit of a safety valve. Scott Stevens will be pressed in right behind Mike Ridley. Miller, Cicerelli, Portnoy, Stevens, and Hatcher make up the sixum for the Capitals. Samuelson and Hauer back there on defense. Propp, Tocchet, and Sutter. The 5 skaters for Philadelphia. 38 seconds left. Face off just inside the Philadelphia zone.
Ridley leans in for the draw. Against Ron Sutter. Puck cleared all the way back into the Washington zone, and with the Capitals net empty, Hatcher loses his edge. Now starts over to Scott Stevens. Stevens turns the corner. That eats up a couple seconds, but now Stevens races to the blue line and carries it inside the Philadelphia zone, but the play is called offside. Now Tocchet grabs Scott Stevens and starts to pull him from behind as Stevens went after Samuelson. The faceoff will be in neutral ice with only 18 seconds to play.
Stevens and Berube join at each other. Keith Acton with a big grin. All he's got to do is point up to that scoreboard right now. Rob Schick going to set some order here, threatening some bench minors, some misconducts if the yapping continues. Brian Murray gets a few words in there now as well.
Well, we talked about the breaks that seem to be evident favoring the Capitals on the game's first goal.
Washington.
Now Washington calls timeout.
Well, certainly to the credit of Philadelphia, even when they fell behind 2-0, they were undeterred. They kept rushing back. Acton gets the big goal that put the spark of life into them, but the Capitals committing those 2 penalties, Mike, and you really look at them, they're not penalties that you're going to say, well, he had to pull the guy down or there would have been a breakaway or something like that. You get a hit, it's been a tough, hard-hitting game. You can't lose the cool, and it seemed like the Capitals did a little bit. Certainly Dale Hunter trying to slow Ron Hextall down, but if you're going to slash the stick, you better get that stick down a lot lower on Hextall's stick. You get it up there, and you give this actor time to over-dramatize what happened. Hey, we talked about if Rob Schick, if he's consciously doing it, which I doubt, or just subconsciously thinking about it, you know, a difficult call he made at the end of the second period. Now you're in a situation, maybe he's just thinking about it. He's not going to let the Capitals get away with anything, and it certainly was the case there.
Same true in the Hatcher penalty, where the replay showed the hit that he had taken to be far more legal than I had originally thought, but that was certainly the reason. Hatcher responding with an unnecessary high stick that set up the other prop power play goal.
Last night, Mellenby, that was a classic example. He got nailed by, I think it was Lou Francischetti, then responded with a shot to Francischetti's head for a roughing call.
Only seconds remaining in the game. Stevens goes back to get it. Time for one more rush. Stevens to center ice, to Courtnall, across the line. Stolen by Poulin and slapped all the way down at the horn. The Flyers have evened the series at 1 game apiece by virtue of the same score the Caps beat Philadelphia by last night. The Flyers the winners tonight, 3-2. Shots on goal in the third period. Well, for the game, rather, Philadelphia winding up with 26 shots on net, and Washington winding up with 21. So 14 third period shots for the Flyers and only 5 for the Washington Capitals. That evens this story up, and now the 2 clubs move on to the Spectrum to play on Saturday night and on Sunday evening. And with the series now split, Game 5 is now indefinite, and that will be played on Tuesday night right here at the Capitol Center. They're announcing the 3 star selections right now. Brian Propp is the #1 star of this game, and he had 2 goals in this contest and now has 3 already in the series. Let's check in downstairs right now to Jeff Rimmer.
And thanks, Mike. We're going to get our guest here. Big win here for the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's talk here now. And we've got to ask you, there's a first question here now. Last night, you take a 2-0 lead. The Capitals come from behind. Tonight, you even things up going the reversal. What's this win mean to the hockey club?
Well, you know, it means home ice advantage for us now, but, you know, I don't think home ice advantage really makes much difference in our series. I think our 2 teams are so evenly matched, and I think it's a matter of both teams never say and die. They battled back last night, and we didn't say quit tonight, and, you know, I don't know what else you can say.
When you came back tonight, win the hockey game, coming from behind, getting that goal scored against you in the last second, the dying seconds, what was said by Paul Holmgren in the dressing room?
Well, you know, he just said, you know, it's a tough break, and we played pretty, you know, solid for 40 minutes, pretty much even, and, you know, let's use it as a, you know, confidence, you know, kick ourselves in the rear end, get us going, build us up, get us going, fired up, and that's what we did. We didn't let it get us down, and, you know, we went in, we relaxed for a while, and then we got pumped up and ready to go for the third, and, you know, the quick goal against us wasn't going to let us down.
Was this the philosophy coming into the Capitol Center to get a split?
Well, you know, a split for #1, but we were coming in to win both. We had a good chance to win in both, and, yeah, you know, it was a tough loss last night, and we're going to take tonight.
How about Pete Peters? A lot has been said about Pete Peters in this series, before this series. How about a comment from a Flyer perspective?
Well, I know Pete, you know, quite well, being from an Alberta boy myself, but, You know, he's a competitor. You know, he comes to play at this time of year, and you know he's always going to be there. And everyone questions him about letting soft goals in, but when you know, chips are down, he's there for Washington.
The series going to go 7 games?
I don't really know. It could be over in 5. You know, who knows? You know, it's that kind of a series. You know, it's going to be a 1 or 2 goal series every night, I think. And if it goes 7, may the best team win.
Congratulations, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
So the Philadelphia Flyers come from behind, and they win this one. So we now go back to Philadelphia tied 1-1. Stay tuned for more of our post-game show. It's ahead right here on Home Team Sports.